From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Tisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, July the 27th, 2023. Thousands gathered at the Kotel, the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City tonight to mark the end of Tisha B'Av, with prayers and songs lamenting the destruction of the first and second temples in Jerusalem and the sinat chinam, the baseless hatred that is said to have been one of the root causes of the Second Temple's destruction. Even more meaningful this year with the current divide and discord in the country over the judicial overhaul efforts. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke today with ABC News chief anchor George Stephanopoulos about the judicial overhaul, dismissing claims that these reforms harm democracy, saying the changes being made are not major and they will actually bring Israel, he said, back in line to what is common to all democracies.
I want to bring the pendulum to the middle. I don't want to bring the pendulum to the other side. There's a middle ground there, and I hope we can achieve it. But that's why we're doing it. Imagine that in the United States, the Supreme Court could tell the executive, the president, okay, they could say, we are nullifying any one of your decisions just based on something that we think is unreasonable. You would not accept it. We don't accept it. But we have to correct it, and that's what we just did. It's a minor correction. It's described as the end of Israeli democracy. I think that's silly.
Netanyahu reiterated that he was open to talk still with the opposition and reaching a consensus. Meanwhile, protesters of the reforms took to the streets of Tel Aviv tonight after the end of Tisha B'Av. Israel's President Isaac Herzog, who for months has been hosting talks towards the goal of a compromise on the reforms, met earlier today on Tisha B'Av with people from both sides of the issue. He wrote, "We sat together, many dozens of Israelis from all sides of the controversy that is tearing society apart, supporters and opponents of the legislation, demonstrators and protesters from all over the spectrum." Herzog said, "We talked and listened, we confronted. We looked for hope and a way to get out of the crisis together," stressing that he would continue in his mission to find compromise. Herzog wrote, "It's not easy, but it will take as much time and effort as it takes. I'm not going to give up on our shared present and future." The IDF today concluded a naval exercise with U.S. forces, Juniper Spartan. The IDF saying its purpose was to deepen the cooperation and professional dialogue between the naval forces, saying collaborations with foreign armies around the world and with the U.S. Army in particular contribute to mutual learning and strengthening professional ties and also improve the level of competence of both parties, adding that the exercise is further evidence of the deep and operational cooperation between the IDF and the U.S. Army. Well, 20 Israeli teenagers returned to Israel this week after 10 days of the Friends of the IDF Legacy Summer Camp in the U.S. The teens are from bereaved families who have lost members of their family in the line of duty. This year's program, hosted by FIDF's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Philadelphia, South Jersey chapters. Vice President of the Mid-Atlantic region, Jennifer Scher, said of the Israeli teens, "We honor their trauma through our supportive environment, while also giving them the time and space to just enjoy the play and fun of childhood." She said, "We want them returning to Israel knowing that they are loved and supported overseas." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, July the 27th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud study. At 7:30, a look at IDF lone soldiers. At 8, the second plenary of the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum, with remarks from Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs, Dermer, testimonies from Ukrainians who fled to Israel, and more. At 10, an encore presentation of Israel's President Herzog's address to Congress just over a week ago. And coming up next, I speak with JBS's own Shahar Azani, reporting from Tel Aviv on the aftermath of the reasonableness law's passage in the Knesset earlier this week, the painful divide over the judicial reform efforts, and hopes for the future on this Tisha B'Av. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, July the 27th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.